You know, if you're suffering damages to your business or property, it's not too late for you to file your BP claim. Joining us this morning is attorney Mike Espy, and yes, that Mike Espy that you're familiar with, the former Secretary of Agriculture.
Yes.
You are in the city of Mobile today with what's been amazing. It's been interesting to watch the number of people who came out in the rain because they are still waiting to get the money they so rightly deserve.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm glad to be here in Mobile today. I'm invited as a guest of Capital Claims LLC, and I'm glad to be here at the New Birth Community Church to talk about the BP settlement process. Now, everyone knows that we've had a settlement, but the settlement is not authorized or final until the judge actually approves it. So it really hadn't been approved yet. So I'm here to talk about the pending settlement, to answer the questions that the people here may have about their claims, whether they're eligible, if so, how much they might be able to receive, when, and the entire process. So I'm here just to give information and an oversight viewpoint on what they might expect here in Mobile.
Well, I think that you're being modest because it's interesting when you think about the fact that you were chosen to spearhead this process over 112 other attorneys nationally. You know, obviously your experience with the Clinton administration, you know, you're inheriting a national problem, if you will, from the previous administration. How can you gain the trust of the people here that have just kind of been put in a position of once bitten, twice shy? How do you gain their trust and confidence again?
Well, by explaining to them that we have a new settlement process that's open, very transparent, very flexible, I believe that the awards that they're going to receive will be much higher than what they expected to receive under the old process under the Gulf Coast Claim Facility. And so really the proof is in the pudding. I think it's going to be faster, more transparent, more flexible, and easier to understand.
When you say faster, my sources tell me that some of the claimants in this case could possibly have the check really show up in the mail in as little as 14 days.
Well, I'm not going to say 2 weeks like that. Let me say it this way, that right now we're in an interim process. The GCCF is out of business. They're going away now. There's an interim process where it's transferring from the old process to this new process that'll be put in place after the judge signs the order. But there's an interim process now. If they want to go ahead and accept payment offered by GCCF, if it's a final offer and it hasn't expired, they're able to take 60% of that offer and get it right now, and then wait for the interim process to be put in place. If they want to wait, you know, after the judge signs the order, and then we'll put this process into place, I think they're going to get a much higher settlement. They can take the 40%, you know, that they are owed, or they can go ahead and wait for a while and take the 100% of the new settlement process. But what I'm trying to tell you is that we know that the calculations are better, the indexes are better, the categories are greater, and if they would just have a bit more patience, I think they're going to get a higher payment.
But when you think about the GCSS and that whole process with Feinberg and Feinberg and everyone else that was involved in that, they were kind of charged with being inconsistent and confusing.
They were very confused and they're very inconsistent, and they were criticized for that very point. I mean, you had people who worked side by side, who lived side by side with similar claims. You know, we found time and time again that one of the claims, one claim was paid and the other was denied. So it was very inconsistent, and they were criticized for that. But that's over now. They're out of business, and they're switching now under the new settlement claims procedure, which is going to be approved and operated under the aegis of a federal judge.
Wow. So new leaders, new rules.
New rules, new leaders, more flexibility, more openness, more transparency, more money, we believe, faster process, and more trust.
Well, my final question to you, with you being a native son of Mississippi and knowing this Gulf Coast region, I have to tell you as a journalist, being out there on the beaches, our beaches, if we're honest about it, along Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, those areas were never really pristine. But so many of us felt like we had to get used to the new norm. How hard was it for you to watch all of this just go on for almost 2 years? And what is it that you can really develop and bring to the people along this region?
Well, it was very frustrating. We have a BP oil company that spoiled pristine beaches here in Mississippi and Alabama and Florida and Alabama. But part of what I tried to do, I was appointed by the judge, one of the 15 lawyers he appointed, to be a part of what we call a plaintiff steering committee. It was our responsibility to litigate this, to make sure that BP would do the right thing, as they often said they would do. We wanted to make sure that they would do it in view of the federal court. So BP did settle. You know, at the eve of the beginning of the litigation, they decided to go ahead and settle. We think we got a good settlement that's going to be fair, the best deal that we possibly could get. And I think that process is going to begin very shortly. And in fact, it's beginning now on an interim basis. And as I said, though, the proof is in the pudding. I think we'd like people to file claims, and I think they'll be pleased with what they get.
Well, I have to tell you, as we wrap things up here, I know it's a matter of perception, and you've got a big job with that, but your experience as an attorney, your experience at the White House, some of it a lot of people thought was very political, but I definitely can say that a lot of the people right here along the Gulf Coast are ready to move forward with their lives. We're at the season where a lot of people along the beaches are really hoping that they can keep that open sign on their front doors, and here's hoping that we can definitely put this behind us. Again, I cannot thank you enough for your time with us here at Vision Voice. Varion again, Mike Espy, who's heading up the new steering committee to make sure that the victims and claimants with the BP oil spill finally get the money they so rightly deserve.
Thank you.